Greetings! Manta79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game. Now in today's video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is a D standard formats, Brandt Gates, Blitz CEO Welstra with Blitz Staff Muna. Alrighty, let's begin. First up, the right deck. And now for the right deck. For the cards in this right deck, we are playing 1. Grade 0, Blitz Mechanic Wharton. 1. Grade 1, Blitz Programmer Strazer. 1. Grade 2, Blitz Technology Researcher Uber. And 1. Grade 3, Blitz CEO Welstra. The Grade 0, Blitz Mechanic Wharton starting unit. Skill Auto. When this unit is rolled upon, if you went second, draw a card. So for Wharton, it's the starting unit of this deck. Like any other starting unit in the D standard format, it features the same skill and activation. When written on top of, if you're the second to go in the game, get to draw a card. The Grade 1, Blitz Programmer Strazer. Skill Auto. When this unit is rolled upon, search your deck or hand for up to 1 Grade 1 product card, put it into your order zone, and if you search from your deck, shuffle your deck. If you put from your hand, draw a card. So for Strazer, it's the main Grade 1 to ride this deck with its skill. Just by riding on top of it, you can search your deck or hand for any Grade 1 product and set it into your order zone to make use of in your later game strategy. The Grade 2, Blitz Technology Researcher Uber. Skills, first skill, action as a Vanguard once per turn. Cost, Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, choose a product card from your order zone and operate it. Activate its operation ability. Second skill, Auto. When this unit is rolled upon, cost, put a product card from your order zone into your drop zone. If the cost is paid, search your deck for or hand for up to 1 Grade 2 product card, put it into your order zone. If you search from your deck, shuffle your deck. If you search from hand, draw a card. So for Uber, it's the main Grade 2 to ride this deck. With its skills, the first skill, just by paying the cost, you can then activate the effect of any product card that's currently active in your order zone to make use of its skill for your later game strategy. And the second skill, just by riding on top of Uber, by paying the cost, you can then deploy any Grade 2 product card from your deck or hand to your order zone to use its skill for your upcoming game strategy. And the Grade 3, Blitz CEO Welstra. Skills, first skill, Auto as a Vanguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose one of your products in your order zone and operate it. Activate its operate ability. Second skill, Auto as a Vanguard. When one of your products is operated, this unit gets plus 5,000 power until end of turn. So for Blitz CEO Welstra, it's the main Grade 3 to ride this deck. With its skills, the first skill, simply by attacking with your Vanguard Welstra, you'll then be able to operate any product in your order zone to make use of its skills and effects for your later game strategy. And the second skill, just by operating a product card on your turn, your Vanguard Welstra will then get plus 5,000 power. And the best part is, this second skill is stackable. For the more times you manage to operate your products during the same turn, you can continue to stack power into your Welstra, making him a more powerful front row attacker to help you pressure or finish off your opponent with. And with that, we just about covered the deck's right deck. Next, let's get on to the main deck, the Grade 1 lineup. And now for the Grade 1 lineup. For the Grade 1s in this deck, we are playing 2. Grade 1, Blitz Mechanic Iskra. 4. Grade 1, Blitz Staff Muna. 4. Grade 1, Detonation Monster Bubble Mine. 4. Grade 1, Planet Wall Dragon. And 2. Grade 1, Set Order Product Mobile Kennel and Garten. The Great One, Blitz Mechanic Iskra. Skill, action as a rear guard. If you did not operate a product this turn, cost, counterblast 1 and rest this unit. If the cost and paid, choose a product card in your order zone and operate it, activate its operate ability. So for Iskra, she's a support card for the Welstra deck. If her skill, as long as the conditions of the skill are met and you pay the cost, you can then activate the effect of any product card in your order zone to make use of for your upcoming game's strategy. The Great One, Blitzstaff Nuna. Skills, first skill, continuous as a rear guard. If your order zone has 3 or more cards, this unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects and gets plus 5,000 power. Includes your opponent's cards active on opponent's turn 2. Second skill, auto as a rear guard once per turn. When any player's unit is placed on a rear guard circle from your order zone during any player's main phase, cost Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, draw a card. So for Muna, she's another support card for the Welstra deck. She is a new promo card that was released in the Bushiroad monthly magazine August 2023 issue. With her skills, the first skill, as long as the conditions of the first skill are met, not only does Muna get a sort of like a resist ability protecting her from being targeted by your opponent's card effects and skills, but also she gets plus 5,000 power, making her a potential 13,000 point attacker for the front row or 13,000 point booster for the back row. And the best part is this first skill is active in both your turn and your opponent's turn. Then the second skill, as long as the conditions of the second skill are met and you pay the cost, you can draw more cards to increase your hand with. The Great One, Detonation Monster, Bubble Mine. Skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If your order zone has a set order, cost, put this unit into your soul and countercharge 1. So for Bubble Mine, he's a pretty good card to play in your Brandt Gate Nation decks, especially for Welstra. If its skill, after boosting attack, regardless if attack hits or not, and you meet the conditions of its skill, and then not only do you get to move a card into your soul, thus building up your soul for later Soul Blast, but then you can also refund your Counter Blast for later skills. The Great One, Planet Wall Dragon, Sentinel, Perfect Guard. Skills, for skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only have up to 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel deck. Second skill, auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until end of battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So for Planet Wall Dragon, he's a perfect guard for the Brandt Gate Nation. And like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with and discarding 1 card from your hand, you can block 1 enemy attack. But he also features an ability unique to all these standard format perfect guards. When used to guard with, while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making Planet Wall Dragon a potential no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. The Great One, Set Order, Product, Mobile Kennel and Garden. Skills, for skill, after a set order is played, put into your order zone. Second skill, auto. When this card is put from hand or order zone into your drop zone during your turn, put this card into your order zone or soul. Then third skill, operate auto from the order zone. When this card is operated, call this card as a power 10,000 critical 1 normal unit with boost to an open rear guard circle, and put that unit into the order zone at the end of the turn. So for Ingarton, it's one of the main product cards meant to be played in the Welstra deck with its skill, second skill. Whenever during your turn, when Eingarten is moved to the drop zone from either your hand or order zone, you have the chance to either return it to the order zone to later help you in your later game strategy, or move it to your soul to build up your soul for later Soul Blast. Then the third skill, when operated, you can then superior call Eingarten from order zone to rear guard as a 10,000 point attacker or 10,000 point booster, depending on which position you wish to call in. And with that, we just have covered the deck's Grade 1 lineup. Next, let's get on to the Grade 2 lineup. And now for the Grade 2 lineup. For the Grade 2s of this deck, we are playing 4. Grade 2, Operate Master, Freiheits. And 4. Grade 2, Set Order, Product, Assault Flight Carrier, Lubazol. The Grade 2, Operate Master, Freiheits. Skills, first skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, if your order zone has a set order, cost, counterblast 1 and discard a card from hand. If the cost isn't paid, search your deck for up to 1 card if the same card name is your Vanguard, or up to 1 product card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you have a Vanguard of Welstra in its card name, choose up to 1 product card from your hand and put it into the order zone. Second skill, Auto, as a rear guard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard of Welstra in its card name, cost Soul Blast 2. If the cost isn't paid, choose a product from your order zone and operate it. So for Freiheit, he's a support card for the Welstra deck, and with his skills, the first skill, just by calling Freiheit onto the rear guard, while the conditions of the first skill are met and you pay the cost, you have the chance to search your deck for either another copy of your Vanguard or a product card to add to your hand. Then, if this first skill was played while your Vanguard is Welstra, you can then take any product card from your hand to place in the order zone, thus giving you another product card in the order zone to make use of in your later game strategy. And the second skill, just by attacking with your rear guard Freiheit while meeting the conditions of the second skill and paying the cost, you can more or less activate any product card in the order zone to use its skill for your upcoming game strategy. Next, the Grade 2, Set Order, Product, Assault Flight Carrier, Lubazol. Skills, first skill, after a set order is played, put into the order zone. Second skill, Auto. When this card is put into the order zone, if you have a Vanguard Blitz in its card name, draw a card and Soul Charge 1. Third skill, Operate Auto from the order zone. When this card is operated, if it is your main phase, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 unit card from among them with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard and call it to rear guard. Shuffle your deck. If it is your battle phase, draw a card. So for Lubazol, it's one of the main product cards meant to be played in the Welstra deck with its skills second skill. Just by deploying Lubazol to your order zone, while the conditions of the second skill are met, not only do you get to draw more cards to increase your hand size, but to also build up your soul for later Soul Blast. Then the third skill, depending on what phase of the game you choose to operate it, you can choose one of 2 effects. If you choose to operate Lubazol in the main phase, you have the chance to call a new rear guard from the top 5 cards of your deck to serve as a front row attacker, back row booster, or to have a rear guard whose skill you wish to make use of later in the game. And then the second effect, if you choose to operate Lubazol during the battle phase, you can then increase your hand size by drawing more cards. And with that, we just about covered the deck's Grade 2 lineup. Next, let's get on to the Grade 3 lineup. And now for the Grade 3 lineup. For the Grade 3s of this deck, we are playing 3 Grade 3 Blitz CEO Welstra, and 3 Grade 3 Set Order Product Mobile Fortress of Obliteration Freischütz Maximum. The Grade 3 Blitz CEO Welstra. Since we already explained Blitz CEO Welstra's skills during the Ride deck portion of the video, let's just skip ahead to the next card. The Grade 3 Set Order Product Mobile Fortress of Obliteration Freischütz Maximum. Skills, first skill, continuous, you cannot play this card. Second skill, operate Auto from the order zone. When this card is operated, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. Choose one of your opponent's vanguards, it gets power minus 5,000 until end of turn. Then cost, counterblast 1 and return a rear guard to hand. If the cost is paid, you can call this card as a power 23,000 critical 1 normal unit to an open rear guard circle. If you call a card, put that unit into the order zone at the end of the turn. So for Freischütz Maximum, it's one of the main product cards to be played in the Welstra deck. With its skill, the second skill, while you operate this card from the order zone, not only do you get to wipe out one of your opponent's rear guards, and to also weaken your opponent's vanguard, but then by paying the cost, you can put Freischütz Maximum to the rear guard as a potential front row attacker to make it easier to help you finish or at least pressure your opponents with. And with that, we just about covered the deck's Grade 3 lineup. Next, let's get on to the trigger lineup. And now for the trigger lineup. For the triggers of this deck, we are playing 1 Grade 0 Star Dragon Deity of Infinitude Eldor Ref over trigger. 4 Grade 0 Patrol Robo Decor Cop critical trigger. 4 grade 0 Chain Light Cluster critical trigger. 3 grade 0 Cardinal Draco and Pyro front trigger. 2 grade 0 Lady Healer of the Creaking World heel trigger. And 2 grade 0 Whistling Arrow of Recursion of the Fold heel trigger. The grade 0 Star Dragon Deed of Infinitude Elder Ref over trigger. Skill trigger additional effect. Double the power and critical of all of your front row units until the end of a turn. Increase to double its power and critical when activated. So for Elder Breath, it's the over trigger for the Brandt Gate Nation. Like any other over trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power and draw a card, but it also features an ability unique to it alone. When revealed during a drive check on your turn, you can double the power and critical of all front row units, Vanguard and Rearguard included, thus giving you more power and critical to potentially pressure or finish off your opponent with. The grade 0 Patrol Robo Decker Cop critical trigger. Skill auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units and it gets plus 2000 power until end of turn. So for Decker Cop, a powerful critical trigger to play in your Brandt Gate Nation decks. With skill, after boosting attack, regardless if the attack hits or not, as long as you don't mind moving Decker Cop from your rear guard to your soul, not only can you build up your soul for later soul blast, but to also give your remaining attackers in the field, Vanguard and Rearguard a little extra power to work with. The grade 0 Cardinal Draco and Pyro front trigger. Skill continuous as a guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5000 shield. So for Pyro, a powerful front trigger to play in your Brandt Gate Nation decks with skill. When used to guard with while the conditions to the skill are met, you can turn your Pyro into a potential 20,000 point shield on his own. The grade 0 Lady Healer of the Creaking World heel trigger. Skill auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, if your opponent's attacking unit has attacked 2 or more times this turn, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield until end of battle. Active if this battle is the second attack this turn or more. So for Lady Healer of the Creaking World, a powerful heal trigger to play in your Brandt Gate Nation decks. With her skill, when used to guard with while the conditions of her skill are met, you can then turn your Lady Healer into a potential 25,000 point shield on her own. Ideally, Lady Healer of the Creaking World is a counter heal best played against opponents who play decks that specialize in restanding and attacking multiple times with their units, Vanguard or Rearguard. And then the grade 0 Whistling Arrow of Recursion of a Fold heel trigger. Skill auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, if the attacking unit's critical is 2 or greater, and its critical is increased by a non-trigger effect ability, or its original critical is 2 or greater, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield until end of battle. So for Obafol, another powerful heal trigger to play in your Brandt Gate Nation decks. With skill, when used to guard with while the conditions of the skill are met, you can turn your Obafol into a potential 25,000 point shield on his own. Ideally, Obafol is a counter heal best played against opponents who play decks that specialize in increasing their attacking units critical, either their Vanguard or Rearguard by skill or card effect. And with that, we just about covered the deck's trigger lineup. For the triggers of this deck, we are playing 1 over trigger, 8 critical triggers, 3 front triggers, and 4 heel triggers. And now, after having just explained the deck's build and card effects, next let's get on to explain the deck's main playstyle. So for the main playstyle of this deck, first you just normally write your right line from grade 0 to 3, all the while using your right line skills to deploy your product cards to the order zone. Then by the time you ride to your grade 3 Welstra, try to call at least 1 or 2 Freiheiters to the front row, using your skills to deploy at least 1 or 2 Freischütz Maximum to the order zone. Then your back row, try to secure at least 1 Iskra and 2 Munes. Then making use of their skills, you can use Iskra's skill to operate a Freischütz Maximum to reduce your opponent's power. or to also retire the rear guards, then as well as using Muna's skills to turn it into a potential 13,000 point booster from the back row. During the battle phase, you just make use of Fry Heights' skill to further operate Fry Shot's maximum to wipe out your opponent's field of rear guards and to reduce their Vanguard's power. Then by the time you attack with your Vanguard, try to use the skill to once to operate maximum to deploy in the rear guard. Then one more time in your next attack, use another Fry Heights to use its skill to operate maximum, deploying another rear guard, thus securing yourself at least 5 attacks in one turn. So once again, explaining, ride until grade 3 Welstra, then when you ride to grade 3, secure at least 1 or 2 Fry Heights in the front row, secure at least 1 Iskra in the back row, and 1 or 2 Munas in the back row as well. Then when it's time to go to the battle phase, try to make use of Fry Heights and Welstra's skill to operate Fry Shot's maximum to clear your opponent's field of rear guards and to weaken their opponent's Vanguard. Then, as well as using Fry Heights' skill to replace your front row with more rear guards with Fry Heights to serve as front row attackers, giving you more attacks to work with, making it easier to either pressure or finish off your opponent with the decreased power to their Vanguard, as well as the increased number of attacks you can make in that turn. And alright, with that, we just about covered the deck's main playstyle. And now, after having just explained the deck's build, card effects, and main playstyle, first up I want to say thank you to all the viewers for watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you all show your support by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that, I say goodbye and see you all